This tutorial will help you make the Bella knit ring that is double-sided, two different colors on each side, so it's one ring that could be worn two different ways. The first step is to put the beads onto the yarn. I usually use dental floss threader, but you can use any kind of bead threader you like. And this is a very thin, delicate yarn. First I'm going to put, since I have 3 beads going across, I'm putting 1, 2, 3 beads of one color and 3 beads of the other color. So I'm going to have these colors alternating. So I'm going to put a couple more on, 3, and then 3 of the gold. And just pull it right on, slides right on very nicely. And 3 more of this. Okay, I mean for the ring you would have to put on a couple, more beads, but for now I'm going to show you how to knit with them. Cast on. You can cast on any way you can, or you choose to, whichever cast on you prefer. I like to use the long tail cast on, and I like to use double pointed needles because it's just smaller and easier to work with, only casting on 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. Now before you knit, you gotta push up 3 of the beads, and then you knit the first stitch. Push up the bead very close to the right hand needle and kind of hold it tight with your right hand with your finger, and you knit the next stitch. Do the same thing again. Pull 1 bead up, push it close to the right needle, and you knit the next stitch. And you do the same thing with the last one, and you knit the last stitch. Now when you turn it around, and before you knit, you push up the next 3 beads. You can see it's the other color. Knit the next stitch, the first stitch, and now you push this bead up. Knit the next stitch, and now this bead is going to be in between the stitches, and before you knit the next stitch you push 1 bead up. And you do this on both sides of your work, that way the beads will be on both sides of your work. Now again we're pushing the 3 beads up. You can see now we're up to the gold. Just make sure you knit tight. That definitely helps when you knit with beads, knitting tight. I'm just going to do 1 more row. So now you see how you have gold on one side, and now we're up to the green. And it's the last bead. As you can see how it's kind of coming along. You have the gold on one side, the green on the other, and then you just continue following the pattern, and then you're going to get this ring at the end. I'm going to show you how to sew it up. Now this is how you're going to end it. Now you cast on, you do the you knit up the way we did here. Now you're going to have 2 tails, and the way the pattern ends, you end up with the 2 tails on the same side. Just to make it easy, I usually just tie them together, double knot, so it stays closed. Now you take, since it's a very thin, delicate yarn, a sewing needle with a larger eye it works really good. And you just have to thread both of the tails. You could do it individually. You can just do one tail at a time, like this, one tail, and I'm going to thread this one onto the same, since there's room for both tails. It's just easier to sew the ring up with the two tails together. If this happens, just take a scissor and cut it. So now you have this tail, the two tails, and you basically put on your finger, and like you would sew anything else up, just go grab the ends, stitches, and sew it up. We snagged a little bit, so we're just going to cut this end too. So you just sew it up all the way to the end, the last one. And you tie it off. And just do one more. I usually just take this, weave it in, and cut it carefully. And now you have a double-sided ring.